While Wall Street analysts are busy obsessing over Elon Musk's latest tweet, a silent industrial massacre is unfolding on the Chinese factory floor. The Western consensus is comfortable. They believe that once Tesla finally fixes the nightmare yield rates of the 4680 cell, it is game over for the competition. They think the dry electrode is the final boss of the EV revolution. They are dead wrong. My latest boots-on-the-ground research reveals a reality that is frankly terrifying for anyone holding legacy auto stocks. While Tesla is currently bleeding cash, struggling to push their 4680 yields past the 90% mark, BYD has already achieved a near-perfect 99.5% manufacturing yield on their second-generation CTB architecture. This is not a pilot program. They are scaling this to 2 million units by next year, while their production costs are in a free fall, dropping 25% year over year. We are not looking at a marginal upgrade. We are witnessing a fundamental shift in the physics of how a car is built. Today, we are going behind the firewall. We are stripping back the internal engineering documents, the leaked supply chain data, and the specific patents that prove BYD is no longer just a battery company. They are becoming an apex predator of industrial efficiency. We are going to break down the thermal mechanics, the laser welding monopolies, and exactly why the global legacy brands are officially out of time. If you look at the history of electric vehicles, it started with modules. You put cells into a box, boxes into a pack, and bolt that pack onto a frame. It was safe, it was easy, and it was incredibly heavy and inefficient. Then we saw cell-to-pack. But BYD's CTB, or cell-to-body, is a different beast entirely. The first generation was about packaging, but after analyzing the internal blueprints for CTB 2.0, I realized this is no longer about saving space. This is about system-level fusion. BYD is forcing the battery, the chassis, the thermal cooling, and the safety systems to operate as one single, rigid organism. Look at the structural physics here. This innovation is actually ripped straight from aerospace engineering, specifically the honeycomb structures used in spacecraft floors. In a traditional EV, the battery is just dead weight that the car has to carry. In CTB 2.0, the battery becomes the skeleton. BYD takes their second-generation blade cells, these long, rigid blades of steel, and sandwiches them between an integrated top cover and a composite tray. This creates a bionic honeycomb. Because of how this structure disperses stress, the torsional stiffness of the entire car doubles. We are talking over 40,000 Newton meters per degree. Let that sink in. That is the kind of rigidity you expect from a $1 million supercar, but BYD is putting it into a family sedan you can buy at a mall. But here is the crazy part. Look at the volumetric efficiency. According to internal patent filings, specifically the one ending in 057A, they have eliminated almost every piece of redundant structural metal. This pushed their volume utilization from 65% to a staggering 76%. This means BYD can now cram 20% more energy into the exact same wheelbase while making the car 27% lighter. More energy, less weight, and a chassis that is basically a tank. That is how you win a price war. And they did not stop at the frame. We have to look at the electrochemical level. I reviewed a patent ending in 101B, which shows a new longitudinal cell arrangement. By shifting the cells and using a retracted pole design, they physically shorten the path the electricity has to travel. Shorter path means less resistance. They dropped internal resistance by 15%, allowing these batteries to handle a massive 16C peak discharge rate. Wait, it gets even more aggressive. Patent ending in 856C reveals a new composite current collector. This tech aggressively stops voltage drops and kills heat generation at the tabs. When you combine this with the honeycomb structure, you get a pack that naturally breathes out heat while maintaining extreme energy density. The new chemistry, a mix of lithium manganese iron phosphate and silicon carbon anodes, pushes energy density up to 210 watt-hours per kilogram. That is a 50% jump over their first generation. Now, let us address the elephant in the room. Tesla. You cannot talk about CTB without comparing it to Tesla's 4680 cell-to-chassis technology. Tesla chose the high-risk, high-ego engineering path. They use large cylindrical cells, where the outer shell of the battery itself is a load-bearing part of the car. It is a brilliant idea on a whiteboard, but on the factory floor, it is a nightmare. Tesla's architecture depends on three unproven miracles happening at once: the tabless design, the dry electrode process, and the structural reliance on the cell casing. Because of this complexity, their yield rate has been stuck in the mud, crawling from 40% up to maybe 93% today. In the world of high-volume manufacturing, a 7% defect rate is a financial suicide note. Now look at BYD. They chose the pragmatic, risk-adjusted path. They use their mature blade battery tech, something they have already perfected, and innovated entirely on the structural integration. Because the cells are already reliable, their CTB 2.0 yield rate is over 99.5%. They are not guessing, they are executing. And the thermal data is even more damning. My research uncovered a data point that should terrify Tesla engineers. Under a standard load, a 4680 cell generates over 2 times more heat per unit volume than a BYD blade, because Tesla uses a highly active NCM 811 chemistry. Pushing high power creates a massive risk of thermal runaway. BYD handles this with integrated cooling channels built directly into the chassis floor. They can keep the temperature variance across the entire pack within 1.5 degrees Celsius. And if something does go wrong, the CTB 2.0 system has relief valves that can vent high-pressure gases out of the car in less than 0.3 seconds. While the Western media is distracted by tariffs and politics, the actual technological endgame has already shifted. What I am showing you here is just the surface layer. To truly understand who survives the coming industry consolidation, I have just uploaded an exclusive 15-page intelligence brief to our platform. Inside, we bypass the marketing fluff. We provide a direct, unredacted benchmarking of BYD against Toyota, CATL, and QuantumScape. For the investors watching, we have done the heavy lifting for you. We mapped the entire hidden supply chain behind this tech, including the Tier 2 equipment makers and their market tickers. I can only show you the simplified version here, but the complete breakdown is available now. If you are an investor, this will save you months of research. Visit voltchina.net or scan the code on screen to access the full master supply chain database. Stop investing based on headlines and start investing based on engineering reality. Now, let us get back to the factory floor, because this is where the economic war is actually being won. Building a bionic honeycomb requires a level of precision that legacy automakers simply cannot touch. To hit that 99.5% yield, BYD had to build an entirely new equipment ecosystem. The two biggest choke points are laser welding and precision coating. When you are welding thousands of cells into a load-bearing frame, one microfracture makes the whole car a scrap heap. BYD solved this by locking down domestic suppliers like UW Laser, ticker 688518. They command 80% of the market for blade battery welding. They use blue light laser technology that specifically solves the copper-aluminum welding bottleneck, keeping the heat zone under 10 micrometers. This is what dragged the yield rate up to 99%. For the second-generation cells, they are using machines from Himson, ticker 688559. These machines run at 10 meters per minute with a precision that makes Western equipment look like toys. For the coating, Yinghe Technology, ticker 300457, provides high-speed lines with a 95% automation rate. That is the highest in the global industry. Here is the kicker. There has been a lot of talk about Western export controls choking China's high-tech sector. In late 2024, the US updated its list to target high-performance lasers. But the supply chain data shows the risk to BYD is almost zero. Why? Because the domestic substitution is already finished. Chinese firms like HGTECH, ticker 000988, broke a 40-year foreign monopoly on automotive lasers. The moment they hit the market, foreign prices collapsed by 40%. The entire production line, from the high-strength steel from Baosteel, ticker 600019, to the aluminum from Nanshan, ticker 600219, is completely insulated from Western sanctions. This vertical integration is the ultimate economic weapon. It is about pricing power. By deleting the battery tray and the upper cover, BYD saves about 3,000 RMB per car instantly. But when you add in the fact that they self-supply 95% of their batteries and their own silicon carbide chips, their total cost is 12% lower than the industry average. Using iron phosphate chemistry brings their cell cost down to 0.6 RMB per watt hour. They aren't just competing with Tesla, they are undercutting them by a massive margin. Tesla's 4680 did drop their costs, sure, but because their mass production was delayed by 18 months and they rely on a fragmented global supply chain, the unit cost of a Tesla cell is still 15% higher than what BYD is achieving. The single car cost, coming out of Giga Shanghai, still hovers around $23,000 US. Meanwhile, BYD is running their Zhengzhou superfactory at terrifying speeds. They went from 33,000 units a month to a projected 100,000 units a month by early 2025. That is over 1 million cars a year from a single site. Tesla's total 4680 capacity for the entire year of 2024 was barely enough for 60,000 vehicles. And don't think BYD is staying inside China. They are aggressively weaponizing their patent portfolio globally. I tracked a US patent ending in 763A1, published in July 2024, which covers their battery layout for the American market. They also filed a US patent for their thermal management valves, ending in 122A1. They already hold over 320 patents globally for solid-state tech that will plug directly into CTB 3.0. The logic is undeniable. In the early days of the EV race, you won by having the best chemistry. But we have hit the inflection point. The next decade won't be won in a lab. It will be won in the factory layout. It will be won by whoever can fuse the battery, the chassis, and the cooling into a single, flawlessly manufacturable unit at the lowest cost on Earth. Tesla tried to leapfrog everyone with the 4680, but they tripped on the physics of manufacturing. BYD took a mature technology, built an aerospace-grade skeleton around it, and ruthlessly optimized their own supply chain to hit perfect yields at a scale of millions. This is no longer a competition of ideas. It is a competition of industrial execution. And the numbers don't lie. Do you honestly think legacy giants like Toyota or Volkswagen can replicate this level of integration before their market share hits zero? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe to Volt China to master the world's fastest moving tech market before your competitors do. I will see you on the next briefing.